So, catching up on some big news from around the Ontario Hockey League. I wasn't able to record a video this afternoon. Was helping out with a Barrie Colts feature that's going to be on Rogers TV this off season. So, stay tuned for that if you're in Simcoe County. But let's dive into the news, starting off with the Oshawa Generals. It all started with a tweet from David Pagnotta. He's from the Fourth Period podcast. He says he's got multiple sources telling him that the Oshawa Generals are for sale. Now, this caught many by surprise, including the Oshawa Generals. Apparently, they posted on social media that the team is not for sale, but it is intriguing, the timing of it, as the Oshawa Generals, of course, have made it to back-to-back OHL championships, and they just signed that 30-year arena lease with the city of Oshawa. So it's a very intriguing news item. I haven't personally heard anything about a potential sale of the Oshawa Generals. I know leading up to the lease agreement, there was talk of the Oshawa Generals potentially relocating to Pickering if they didn't get an arena a lease extension with the city of Oshawa. But that was all announced during the Eastern Conference final that the team had an agreement in place with the city of Oshawa. And now hearing this, we'll have to wait and see where this goes from here, if in fact there's legs with this rumor, or if this is just speculation left over from what was happening before the arena lease was signed with the city of Oshawa. So we'll stay tuned with this. But like I said, I personally have not yet heard from anyone about a possible sale involving the Oshawa Generals, and the Generals also posting on their social media that the team is not for sale. What they have posted is that they have their new head coach in place. Remember that Brad Malone, he stepped away as he signed a deal with the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins of the American Hockey League to become their new assistant coach, which left a void with the Oshawa Generals, and that's being filled by Mario Pouliot, who was brought in late last season to be an assistant coach to assist Malone as the Oshawa Generals made their push to the OHL championship. And for Pouliot, he made history, winning back-to-back Memorial Cups with the Acadie Bathurst Titan in 2018 and the Rouyn-Noranda Huskies in 2019. Pouliot, he's a winner with the teams in the Quebec Maritime Junior Hockey League and looking to bring that success to the Oshawa Generals. Mind you, with the way this roster is looking, a lot of players graduating from last season, I would not be surprised if this is a bit of a rebuild coming up for the Oshawa Generals. They should still be competitive with some of their returning players, but still, I think this is a great announcement for the Generals. You're getting an experienced head coach. Hopefully, he'll be here for a few years just to see this rebuild through. But I think this is a good step for the Oshawa Generals as they begin their next chapter in their junior hockey cycle. Now, there were plenty of signings over the last 24 hours. One of the busiest teams have been the Brantford Bulldogs. We'll start with them. First, Caleb Malhotra. Remember, they acquired his rights from the Kingston Frontenacs at the start of last season, and because of that, the Frontenacs had a second first-round pick for 2025. So Malhotra, he played last year in the BCHL. So he went out west, and he was the 8th overall selection in the 2024 OHL priority selection. And a lot of people are wondering, with Brantford acquiring his rights, would he actually show? And then, of course, now with the NCAA vote, where CHL players can now go off to play with the Division I schools, Malhotra has announced that he's bringing his game to the Ontario Hockey League. He's already been featured in photos with the team, so he's arrived in the city of Brantford wearing the Bulldogs jersey. So this is exciting for Brantford, because this is a team that many are saying could be the early favorite for the Eastern Conference going into next season. Remember, they also picked up McHugh from the Flint Firebirds, so they have a pretty solid overager joining this roster. And Malhotra entering his draft year for the National Hockey League. Expect big things from this Brantford Bulldogs team, and I don't think they're done yet, as they have quite a few draft picks still to work with if they want to add even more talent to this roster. Also being signed is Cooper Dennis. He's a U.S. standout joining the Brantford Bulldogs. He also has announced that he's committed to the University of Michigan. So he'll play this season with the Brantford Bulldogs and then move on. But still, he's from Ithaca, New York, selected in the 6th round by the Bulldogs. That was in the 2023 OHL priority selection, but now deciding to bring his talents to the Ontario Hockey League. So this is where we're seeing more American-born players now exploring their options when it comes to the Ontario Hockey League. So we'll see what Dennis can bring. He's got the talent, he's got the skill. He played with the Long Island Gulls of the 16U AAA program, and he was one of the key players in their offense. So he's going to look to bring that as he joins the Brantford Bulldogs starting next season. One other big signing, Adam Valentini. The rumors were at the end of the regular season that the Kitchener Rangers were close to signing Valentini, who they also acquired from the Brampton Steelheads at last year's draft. Of course, Brampton having 2 draft picks to make up for Valentini going to the Kitchener Rangers, and this is going to be huge. Valentini played at the Chicago Steel last season of the USHL. He's very gifted offensively. There were some who thought maybe he would go first overall in the OHL priority selection in 2024, but because of his NCAA commitment, we saw him drop in the draft last year, and because of the vote, just like Malhotra, Valentini can play for the Ontario Hockey League before going off to the NCAA. So he'll play for the Kitchener Rangers this year, and with Kitchener potentially hosting the Memorial Cup in 2027, that may be enough to entice him to stick around with the Rangers for at least 2 seasons. So this is a huge pickup for the Kitchener Rangers. I'm very curious to see what happens next with this Rangers team. They exceeded expectations the last 2 seasons, and they're just looking to ride this momentum coming into next year and the year after as they try and build this core. And the Rangers looking like potentially a threat in the Western Conference. Now, there were a couple other signings of note. Callum Croskery, he has signed with the Sioux Greyhounds. He was their former 2nd-round pick, and another player that was looking to the NCAA route. He's decided to bring his services to Sault Ste. Marie, so that's a big boost for them. The Erie Otters have signed free agent forward Luke Plant, and the Sarnia Sting have signed 2nd-round selection Sarver Jarowski, as he'll be playing with the Sting starting next season. So plenty of signings. I expect this to continue over the next few weeks. The trade window also open. We've only had the 1 trade so far, but yeah, what a wild 24 hours it's been, from rumors of the Oshawa Generals being for sale to Pouliot being signed on as the new head coach of the Generals, Valentini, Malhotra. So it's been a wild few days around the Ontario Hockey League, and we'll see what's in store next. But yeah, that's how I see it from the booth. Also, just a reminder, if you haven't checked out my new OHL history series that I launched yesterday, I'm doing a season-by-season look at what makes shaping the Ontario Hockey League to what we see today. I've done 2 videos so far that have been posted. I recorded these ahead of time, so they're all scheduled to post on weekdays. So we did yesterday was the 1980-81 season, so the first season of the Ontario Hockey League, and then today was the 80-82 season. So you can check that out. That's in the OHL history playlist here on the channel if you want to take a look. I wanted to have some content during the off season, as I kind of figured things would be a little slower news-wise, but I didn't realize we were going to have so much in such a short period of time. I thought I was going to be able to get a bit of a break from recording a video, but either way, not complaining. I love putting the content on here. Love talking junior hockey. I thank those who have already clicked subscribe as this community continues to grow. And yeah, we'll see what happens next. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you haven't clicked subscribe already, and we'll talk to you again soon.